Hi, I'm Marvin Fant with the weekly 411. This segment is called Why Do White People Hate LeBron James? How does he go from being the most loved to the most hated? How does he go from fans adoring him to fans despising him? Well, let's go a little deeper on that. Let's start when he was still with Cleveland. For years, for 7 years basically, he really wanted to win a championship in Cleveland. But basically, they never gave him the supporting cast. They never gave him or put stars around him to complement his skills. What he had was an aging Shaq. What he had was an overrated Mo Williams. And then after that, a bunch of really mediocre players. Now, surprisingly, because of his skills, they got to the finals, coming close, but he didn't win. But still, they came close. A Cleveland team that came close in the NBA. Now, that's still something to talk about. Now, a lot of LeBron's decision, I think he felt like he was pushed in the sense that the media was always talking about, you got to win a title. You're nothing without a title. Even if you get to the Hall of Fame, you still won't be up there with the others like Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson because you haven't won a title. You have to win a title. And he heard this constantly, day in, day out, year after year. He heard this. Even though he's still a young man. But he heard this all the time. And he wanted to do something before he hit a certain age. Before he was too old and run down like Karl Malone trying to go after a title. Charles Barkley trying to go after a title. And basically, and I want to say this about Barkley before I go any further. Charles was wrong for criticizing LeBron. What's wrong with trying to go after a title? Heck, Charles, you did it. You did it when you went to Houston. But Houston was they already had went through their title run. Their guys were getting old, just as you were also. You had a chance to go to the Chicago Bulls. You didn't take that chance. You would have had a ring by now. But for some reason, people have this mentality, oh, we have to do it the proper way. What is the proper way? What is the proper way? Right now, one of the proper ways, one of the legal ways, is free agency. So that's what LeBron did. He took the free agent route. But yet, some people, you get all high and mighty about, well, we have to do this the proper way. That's bull. That's bull. Anyway, part of LeBron's decision to leave is it can be turned right back to the media. Right back to people like Michelle Beadle from Sports Nation. I used to have a lot of respect for her. And she was all over LeBron's jock while he was still in Cleveland. But then when he left, I mean, she just turned on him big time. You're supposed to be a fan, Michelle. You're supposed to be a fan no matter where he goes. Because apparently you weren't a Cleveland fan, were you? No, I don't think so. So why did you get bent out of shape when he left Cleveland? I can understand Cleveland fans being mad. But other people outside of Cleveland, you had no reason to be mad. Now, people got mad about his program that he had 1 hour long called The Decision. People said that, oh, he was arrogant, he was pompous, he was, he got the big head about the situation. Well, my thing is, how is he having a big head if he's going from being the man to going to a team that he has to mesh with 2 other stars? His goal, his primary goal, is to win a ring, period. If he had that big head as you claim he does, he still could have stayed in Cleveland. They make a statue of him. He continues to have the big head as you say. But I didn't see anything wrong with him putting on that show, that production, because really it fits into what's going on today. This is today's market. This is how things are going, and there's going to be more of these. Heck, when a college player announces he's going to be moving on to the pros, he has a press conference. So what was so wrong with LeBron having a press conference? Now it was dragged out an hour long. I don't think it should have been an hour, but that was for TV. You know, after that, real feelings of hatred came out. Feelings that white people felt that it's kind of like you're losing that hold you had over somebody. And I'm trying to dance around the word, but I might as well come out and say it. There's still those feelings of being that house nigga, whereas you're not getting out of line, but when you get out of line, then those true feelings start to come out. I think that's what happened with white people in America. Those true feelings started to erupt. Those true feelings started to come out. You know, because and you can see this a lot in the USA Today. And I read the USA Today and I check out their post, especially when you go onto the NBA post. Oh man, you should just see the hatred that comes out. I mean, true raw hate. And every time I read one of those posts, they always use the word thug. To me, it's kind of like you're replacing the word nigger for thug. And they always use the word thug. You don't believe me? Go on to a poster right now on the USA Today, click onto any NBA story, and you will see, I guarantee you will see the word thug. And it'll always be a put down, and especially toward the NBA, it'll always be a put down. The NBA is nothing like it was from the 90s, okay? We're talking about 20 years now. It has a lot of good character guys, more so than the NFL, where if you check things out, the NFL has, and it's mostly black also, but that's because they like the NFL more than the NBA. So therefore, they're not going to criticize the NFL. But the NFL has a whole bunch more crimes committed among their players than the NBA. I'm talking about per average, because I know the NFL has way more players than the NBA. So I'm talking per average. So you can check those figures out too and see that I'm right. But there's like I said, there's an underlying hatred toward black players. And it's kind of like if you're not fitting into a certain pocket, a certain mold, then that hate comes out. My thing is, how come they don't say this about talking about thugs when it comes to the players in the NFL? Because they like them. How come they don't say this about the goonery and buffoonery in hockey? You know, it's just a lot of things you just have to check out on your own. But I will say this: white America, racism is still in your DNA. It's been in there for years. In a lot of situations, yeah, we've made improvements, we made strides, but it's still in there. And no, don't get me wrong, I'm not some big liberal. I'm conservative, I vote Republican, and that may shock some of you other people. I don't like to use the race card, but in this situation, I'll use it because I think using it in this situation is right. Why does white America hate LeBron James that bad? All he did was change teams. It's not like he committed a crime like some other people. You're putting him in a category with people who committed crimes. It's not the same. So why get so bent out of shape? LeBron has never been in trouble, okay? In that show he did, he raised money for charity. He raised $5 million for the Boys and Club, for the Boys and Girls Club of America. No, I'm not cutting that out. So he raised $5 million. What is so wrong with that? So white America, you're missing the point. And statistically, yes, you are the ones who have this hatred and visceral toward LeBron James. So that's why I'm talking to you. You're the ones who have this hatred. Hatred that I don't see why you should have this hatred. It's just wrong. And like I said, getting back to that situation of he's not in your box now. He's not doing things the way you want him to do it. So now the hatred comes out. That underlining hate that's always been there is part of your DNA. Yeah, I said it.